In the bustling streets of 1970s New York, Henry Hill, a young man with an insatiable hunger for the good life, found himself drawn into the alluring yet dangerous world of the mob. From his early days, he idolized the wise guys who ran his neighborhood, their flashy cars, expensive suits, and the respect they commanded. He started small, running errands for the local capo, Paulie Cicero, and his trusted associates, Jimmy Conway and Tommy DeVito. Henry quickly learned the ropes, the unspoken rules, and the thrill of the criminal underworld. He reveled in the camaraderie, the lavish lifestyle, and the power that came with being a part of the crew. Life was a whirlwind of late-night card games, high-stakes robberies, and endless parties. He married Karen, a beautiful Jewish woman who was initially wary of his lifestyle but eventually succumbed to its allure. They had 2 daughters and lived in a beautiful home, enjoying all the luxuries that Henry's illicit activities provided. However, beneath the glamorous facade, the world Henry inhabited was brutal and unforgiving. Tommy, a volatile psychopath, was prone to explosive fits of rage, often leading to bloody consequences. Jimmy, while charming and charismatic, was a ruthless killer who wouldn't hesitate to eliminate anyone who stood in his way. Henry, caught in the middle, found himself constantly walking a tightrope, trying to balance his loyalty to his friends with his own survival. As the years passed, Henry's involvement in the mob deepened. He became a major player in various schemes, from hijacking trucks to running a massive drug operation. But with greater involvement came greater risks. The police were closing in, and the internal tensions within the crew were escalating. Tommy's impulsiveness led to him whacking Billy Batts, a made man, a transgression that would ultimately seal his own fate. The paranoia and distrust within the crew reached a fever pitch. Paulie, who had always preached caution, grew increasingly wary of Henry's drug dealing. Jimmy, fearing that Henry would rat him out, began to plot his demise. Henry, realizing his life was in imminent danger, made the agonizing decision to cooperate with the FBI, entering the Witness Protection Program. He testified against Paulie and Jimmy, sending them to prison and bringing an end to his life of crime. But the transition to a normal life was far from easy. Stripped of his identity, his wealth, and his old life, Henry struggled to adapt. He missed the excitement, the power, and the camaraderie. He was just an average nobody, living in a suburban wasteland, constantly looking over his shoulder. In the end, Henry Hill, the good fella who had it all, was left with nothing but his memories and the bitter realization that the fast life, while thrilling, ultimately came at a devastating cost. He was no longer a wise guy, just another schmuck, forever haunted by the ghosts of his past.